All right. Welcome, everyone, to another iteration of our Waconia Wrestling podcast series. Really excited tonight to talk with this group. And tonight it's going to be a little bit of a different format than we've done in the past videos, but really excited to talk through our wrestling journeys, wrestling stories, and the journey to sixth grade is going to be the theme tonight. Kind of a Q&A discussion forum with a great group of our sixth graders. This is going to be part one. Another episode, we're going to capture the other five members of our returning sixth grade class. We have a really large sixth grade class this year, 12 kids, 10 of which have been in the program previously. And so really excited to talk to all of them about their journeys through the sport of wrestling in our Waconia Wrestling program. And so with that said, again, I'm your host, Jeff Catherman. We also are blessed to have our head coach, Vos, with us. He's got a couple of hats he wears. He's a dad of Nolan Vos and Easton and Owen, and also our head coach. So he's going to provide a little perspective tonight relative to that. And we've got Beau Bienek. Beau, where are you at? There's Beau. We've got Lincoln Klein Knight. We've got Max McCaw and Michael Reiner and Nolan Vos and head coach Vos. So appreciate you guys taking the time to speak to the broader community tonight. We have a range of questions that we've always asked our kids to reflect on each year. Normally, we do this kind of content live at our parent meeting, usually just before the season starts. But we had such a large group this year. We thought it'd be fun to do it virtually and digitally. So this is breaking new ground, but I hope you all enjoy it. So we've got a list of questions we're going to have each of our sixth graders cover off on, and hopefully have a really fun discussion, gain some great insights on how they've all these kids have navigated the sport of wrestling, many of them for several years, and what they like about wrestling and so on and so forth. So guys, I'm going to start with just hopefully a pretty easy softball question for all of you. What grade did you start wrestling, and what or who got you into the sport? So Max, I want you to talk us a little bit about how you got into wrestling.
Well, I started wrestling in fourth grade, and I got in. I mean, it seemed like a fun sport to do, and really helped with other sports too, being aggressive. And my dad was one of the people who really got me into the sport.
Awesome. That's great. You're just fairly new into it, and I think we've had a lot of success with kids that have started late and still had just really peaked later in their high school careers and their youth careers and beyond. But it's been great to see you really picking up steam these last 2 years, and I know you put a lot of work in this summer. So, Lincoln, same question to you. What grade did you start?
Wrestling in kindergarten, and what made me want to try the sport is actually my dad told me I should give wrestling a try, and now it was probably one of my best decisions that I've made so far.
Awesome. Beau, what grade did you start? Who got you into it?
I started wrestling in my second year of preschool, and I really just wanted to. Nobody really got me into it. I just wanted to try it because I hadn't really started doing sports yet. So I was just like, why not give wrestling a try? It sounds fun.
Awesome. Mr. Reiner, how about you? Oh, wait 1 sec. I think you might be on mute.
I was muted.
There you go.
Okay. I started in kindergarten, and then I wasn't really excited about the idea of doing it, but my dad kind of made me, and now I'm glad that he did.
Yeah. I remember when you started. You were, I think maybe one of your nicknames might have been Spider-Man because you had a really cool Spider-Man singlet, and you'd follow Mason around to the tournaments, and you've come a long way since then.
Mhm.
Well, Nolan.
Okay, now
I started wrestling in preschool, and what got me into the sport was my dad. He wrestled as a little kid, and he thought I should give it a try.
Awesome. A couple of you guys started in pre-K, and we have a great amount of kids now starting in pre-K. I think last year we had almost like 10, 15 kids. Same amount this year. So you guys have been doing it for a while. All right, next question. Back up to the top, Max. What do you remember most from your first year when you started, and what did you learn the most that first year?
Well, one of the things I learned most was a lot of new stuff, and so wrestling's tough. I mean, that's one of the major things you learn in the first year. And what I remember most from my first year is probably this one move. It was the cow catcher, I think, and that was like one of the main moves we focused on, and I use it. So
Awesome. Lincoln, what do you remember first when you first started?
What I remember my very first year wrestling was going down to the state tournament, and that didn't go so well. But I learned that to never give up and work hard.
Yep. Some great lessons. Beau, how about you? What was that first year like?
I remember like mostly just going to practices. Like I didn't go to a lot of tournaments in my first year, but when I did, I started going like towards the end of the season, and then I went to one and I realized how fun it was. So then I just wanted to go to more, and I kept asking my parents to just, can I go to a tournament this weekend? And they usually said yes. So I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. Michael.
From the first year, I didn't really do a whole lot, and I don't even think I won a match, but it started me off, and then I just slowly got better, and then I went from there.
All right. Noli.
I remember that first practice. It was really tough, and I got really tired. But then I went to that first tournament, and I realized how fun it was. And then I kept going to more and more tournaments, and I got a lot better.
Awesome. All right, next question. Some of you talked about tournaments, but maybe you haven't. If you haven't yet, what was? I think it's probably fair to say you will probably always remember your first tournament. Probably pretty nervous, but what? Let's have each of you talk through what was your first tournament that you attended, and what was that experience like? How'd you survive it, Max?
all right,
Back up to
well,
you.
my first tournament was a tournament in Watertown. Coach Vos was there with me to help me along the way too. It was very challenging for my first year of doing tournaments. In the first year, I did not do any tournaments, but on my second year, I started doing them, and you win or you learn.
Right.
So I learned a lot.
Awesome. Lincoln,
The
first tournament.
that I went to was actually the one here in Waconia. I was kindergarten, and I didn't really know a lot of moves, but I went out there on the mat, and then after the tournament, I decided to do more and more and more.
Yeah, you kind of got hooked, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Beau, first tournament.
My first tournament was the Chaska Chan tournament, and I remember just going out there first match. I lost by a lot, and then I was like, I don't like to lose. That's not fun. So then I just went out there and tried harder, and I won both the other matches and got second place, and that just made me really happy and made me want to go to a lot more tournaments.
Cool. And was that the regular Chanhassen tournament, or was it the scrimmage that we did?
No, it was just the regular, the
The regular
open.
one. Okay. Michael, what was your first tournament?
Um, I'm not quite sure what my first one was, but I remember I lost every time, but I I was motivated to get a medal.
Yep.
Even if it was last place. And I always raised my hand when I lost. I saw the ref raising the other guy's hand, so I raised mine because I just didn't get it.
You're trying to see if the ref was paying attention, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Noli, your first tournament.
I don't really remember a lot from my first tournament, but I know I went to the Prior Lake Open tournament, and after those first few matches, when we were getting our medals and stuff, I thought getting a trophy was super cool, and I wanted to keep going.
Yep. Do you guys, any of you remember your first all trophy tournament? Hopefully that was that usually brings a lot of people in, those first timers, right? Buffalo.
Yep.
Maybe I know STMA I think has trophies at theirs.
Northfield.
Yeah, Northfield, right? Buffalo's still, I think, the king of all trophy tournaments. So, shameless plug for Buffalo. You're gonna be there for 10 hours, but you'll get a trophy.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. A little bit of a change in direction, guys. What have been some of your role models you've looked up to, who've motivated you to really keep going in the sport? Back up to you, Max.
All right. Well, one of the people that I really looked up to in this was Max McEnally. He's just a phenomenal wrestler. He won state a lot of times, and just an amazing wrestler. My dad and my coaches, they've all motivated me to keep on going and don't give up.
Love it. Lincoln. Oh, I think you're on mute. There you go.
Is it better now?
Yep, gotcha.
One of the role models I looked up to was also Max McNally, because seeing him win all these tournaments, I mean, it just was really cool watching him. And he's got a great work ethic, and I don't know, I guess that motivated me to want to win more.
Yep. That's great. Oh, who have you looked up to?
I remember when I was like little, and the other kids and youth that were like older, I really looked up to like Beckett Marsh. He's just a really nice guy, and he is always like, no matter what happens in the match, he'll always just hold his head high and go shake the other guy's hand and just walk off.
Yep. That's awesome. I know he'll be really flattered by that, Beau. Appreciate it. Michael, who have you looked up to over the years?
I look up to Max a lot too, because he's so good, and I just want to be able to do just like win like he does.
Do what he does.
Yeah.
Thousands of takedowns.
Yeah.
Right. You got to be in good shape to wrestle like Max, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That style. Noli, close us out on this question.
I look up to a lot of the high schoolers, but some of the high schoolers that really motivate me are Max McEnally, Alex Riley, Carter Kathman, and my older brother Owen. They really motivate me because no matter how they do, they just go up there, keep their head high, shake the other person's hand, and walk off the mat.
Awesome. Some great people that you mentioned there. Thank you, Noli. All right. Next question. What kind of going into the memory banks here? What have been some of your favorite memories across the career? Just in it can be about in wrestling, but also just favorite memories of being a part of our Waconia program. So back up to you, Max.
All right. Well, probably my favorite memory of wrestling would be my very first win in a tournament. It was a Rockford tournament, all trophy, and I finally beat someone. It felt really good.
Awesome. Lincoln.
My favorite memory would probably be when I was in 4th grade, when I went down to the state tournament and wrestled my way to the finals. But even though I lost, going back to the hotel and wrestling on the team with a lot of friends, really, that stuck out to me.
Great. Beau, how about you?
I really throughout all my years, I love going to the state tournament and just being with all your friends and teammates and just like hanging out at the hotel and then going to wrestle. It's just super fun.
Yep. Yeah, it's a big motivator to get down to state, right? Because it's fun time. You're working towards a goal, but it's a great time to hang out and get to know your teammates and kind of celebrate the season, right?
Yeah.
And try to top it off with the bang, right?
hmm
Michael, what's been your favorite memory or memories over your career?
Probably 2 years ago at state when I won the blood round, or the placing, the thing that makes the match
Yep.
that you go to place. And then placing for my 3rd time at NIWA. Also 2 years ago when I got 5th. Yeah, that's probably my favorite 2 for state.
Awesome. I know it's been, when you kind of break through that barrier, that's a pretty important milestone, right? And I know you guys have those high goals that it's just so fun to see you guys achieve them. Nolan, close us out on this question again. What's been your favorite memory or memories?
Definitely going down to Rochester and staying out at the hotel. It's super fun hanging out with all your friends and teammates and going swimming. And then that first match, going down, walking through all the skyways, getting on that mat, getting warmed up, and getting ready to go.
Yep. Love it. All right. Next question, accomplishments. What accomplishment have you guys been most proud of?
Well, an accomplishment I've been most proud of is that, first win in Rockford and, really progressing in wrestling, getting better, doing just as good as you can, and just really you can see differences in skill level after a while.
Yeah, mastering some moves, right? Lincoln.
Some of the accomplishments that I'm proud of is going to the state tournament every year. I've actively wrestled, and placing top 3 was, one of my goals for a long time. And I was pumped when I hit that point in time, which really stood out to me.
Awesome. Beau, how about you?
I remember when I was in 4th grade, there was this kid. So I'm a little bit old for my age group. So I was in 12U in 4th grade, and there was this kid who was in 6th grade, and he kept on beating me at a bunch of tournaments. And then at the state tournament, it was in if I beat him, I went to the blood round, and it was a close match. And then he just left a half wide open, and I just got that and pinned him, and I was so happy.
Was that Good Nature?
Yeah.
You beat? Yeah. Remember that. That was a big win for you.
Mhm.
Cool memory. Michael, what about you?
Probably pinning the guy in the blood round to I think it's NYWA, but that was probably my favorite because I was just it's really fun to know your placing, and then to be able to go and try and place higher than that too after.
Yep.
It's really fun. That's
And
probably
for parents or other wrestlers that watch this, and kids have tried to provide context for what the blood round is. There's not a round where we're spewing blood. It's just a nickname of the toughest. It's an important round. If you lose on the Constellation side, that match, that round, you're out of the tournaments. Usually most tournaments are double elimination, but if you make it to a certain part in the Constellation round, you're guaranteed to place. So that's what the kids are talking about there. So nothing gruesome you have to be afraid of. It's just a nickname of a really tough round, right, guys? Okay. Diversion or distraction over now. Let's talk. Nolan, close us out here on what you think your best accomplishment you've been most proud of so far.
Probably making it down to state and placing fourth on the team in NY and in USA.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was last year. So
yeah.
Now you guys got to create another goal for this year, right? So with that said, what are your goals for yourself and the team this year?
Well, one of my major goals is to really get much better to do more better in the tournaments, get more pins, wins, all the stuff like that, and progress more, get stronger, faster, stuff like that. And the team, let's go for first in state this year.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone in the entire room is theoretically a part of the team. We have a tryout, wrestle off, process, but really it is a massive team sport in that we can't get to our goals without everybody included helping out, right, and pushing each other, because we need practice partners to push each other. And so it's really these team accomplishments reflect everybody in the program, right? So glad you feel motivated there, Max, and challenge everybody to put their names in the ring for those wrestle offs as well when those come up. But Lincoln.
Well, I mean, one of my goals for a while, I just kind of go with the same one every year. It's just to place top 3 at state. But for the team, either place or honestly just go down to the state tournament as a team.
Got it. Beau?
My personal goals, I would like to place at state. I have never done that before. I've gotten to the blood round like 3 times, never placed. And for the team, I would really like just everybody to have fun, like all the newer kids to have fun so that they'll want to stay in the sport. And just like for everybody to get a chance to wrestle on the team. I wish that could happen, but I'm sure if you guys could make that, then you would, but it'd be pretty hard.
Yep. Thank you. Michael?
I want, for myself, I want to be in the top 2 at state. And then for the team, I want to also be, and then I also want to, well, for myself, I want to try and win it. And then for the team, I want to try and win it too.
Great. Your goals, you just doubled up your goals as you in that answer there. I love it. Nolan and Neil, you answer this one too.
One of my goals for this year is to make it down to state as a team and individually, and to place high in the brawl.
Yep.
Yeah, I would like to see the team be as successful as last year, if not surpass some of those finishes. I'd like to see us qualify for state again at NY, and I definitely think we belong in the top three, if not better. So we'll just have to, we got, like you said, a bunch of sixth graders coming back. Hopefully, with our weights, we fall in decently, get spread out, and we got some young kids that we got to place in those lower weights. And I'd like to, keep building and finish the same, if not better than we did last year. Like we got a strong team coming back.
100%. All right. A little bit of a different question, more qualitative. What does it mean to each of you to be a Waconia Wildcat wrestler? What does that identity mean?
Well, to me, I mean, the Waconia Wildcat wrestling program is just amazing. It's great to be a part of it, and it's really important to me and everybody here. I mean, it's just so fun and amazing to be part of this team.
Appreciate that, Max. What about you, Lincoln?
What it means to me to be a part of Waconia Wildcat Wrestler is being a part of, just a great group of people and picking one another up when you're down.
Love it. So true. Beau, what do you think? It's mean to be a Wildcat wrestler.
I really think it just means like I'm really tough. Like a lot of my friends, when they find out I'm a wrestler, they're like, "What, wrestling? That seems way too hard." And I'm like, "Well, you gotta find something to do, and it's a very fun thing."
Have you recruited some people to the team this year through those conversations?
No, I've asked a few kids if they'll do it, and they're like, "No."
Keep trying. I think you've got a good stump speech there. So, Michael, how about you? Does it mean to be a Waconia Wildcat wrestler?
It means that to me that I've gotta do my best and then just go as hard as I can the whole time and then just give it everything I have.
Yep, love it. Nolan and Coach Vos.
To me, it means like it's an honor to be a Wildcat wrestler. I mean, it helps with every sport. You can go out on the football field, and when you score a touchdown, coaches will know you're a wrestler. It's just it's a really fun sport. Yeah.
I like to see it as you can tell, a lot of these kids, Nolan, I know Beau, Lincoln, Matt, all these guys are playing other sports. They're playing baseball. They're playing football. We got soccer kids, and not helping out with coaching those sports, standing on the sidelines, talking to other parents. They can even pick out our wrestlers because they tend to be some of the better athletes out there, stronger, faster. They know how to treat other teammates. They know how to treat opponents. I mean, they learn a lot in that wrestling room, and it carry over into the classroom and into other sports. You look at even the varsity guys. You've got Goldschmidt up there running the ball for him now since Max has graduated. I mean, you see a lot of these tough kids, when it comes to football, the ones that are the better tacklers, the ones that are running hard. I mean, it goes to show that what they learn in this wrestling room, are lifelong, things they learn as far as other sports, classroom, just even great human beings in society, seeing them around, walking around town. It's definitely growing boys into young men and, young girls into women. It's no other sport like it that I think boosts them up in maturity and knowing how to act.
Yeah, totally agree. You all said it really well, and I mean I think the entire defense, or high percentage of the starting varsity defense on the football teams, pretty much our junior senior group of wrestlers. Be a lot of those guys on varsity wrestling squad this year, and some maybe even not. That shows how deep I think our high school team is right now. So very, very cool, guys. Appreciate the insights. Probably one of our last questions here, but what is your, advice to newer wrestlers that are coming into our program this year, to parents as well? You guys have all, I think you could probably give parents good perspective on what's been helpful to get you guys from where you started this journey to sixth grade. And it's not easy. We got 12, a group of 12, and 10 of you are returning. But I think we started Lincoln, Nolan, Michael, probably with, and I think Beau, I can't remember if you started back then too, but we probably started with 20 kindergartners, and we have 10 now, right? In sixth grade. So there's a lot of attrition that goes through it. So what advice would you give to kids that are just starting and parents on staying with it, staying with the sport of wrestling? What's helped you to stay with it?
Well, so some advice for new wrestlers. When you first start, don't expect to win all the time. I mean, you're going to get some bumps and bruises. It's not going to be easy, but once you really get the hang of wrestling, get some moves down, we start practicing a lot, you're going to do a lot better. And parents, I mean, help your kids practice and make sure they're to practices on the right days, and make sure they're getting the moves and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just provide that support, right?
For new wrestlers, some advice that I have is pay attention to your coaches and ask questions when you need them. And for new parents, keep encouraging your kid to have fun, but at the same time, pay attention. Stick with the sport. Keep going to practices, and yeah.
Awesome. Oh, what do you think?
For newer wrestlers, they just don't give up. Like, keep fighting, and you'll be as good as some of those older kids that are like going to state and placing really high. If you just keep working hard and going to the practices and trying hard, and also be a good partner. If you're a good partner for other newer kids, then they will get better because you will help them. And parents, honestly, parents are doing a great job. They bring their kids to sports, they bring their kids to all their sports, and they help them want to stay in the sports.
Great. Appreciate it. Michael.
For the parents, there's, especially if it's a littler kid, they're gonna probably cry sometimes, and it's gonna be really hard, especially at the beginning. But you just gotta keep going, and eventually it'll get better. And
It's worth it, right, Michael?
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody cries. That's at the start, right? Well, there's always a little bit of anxiety, right? And just got to stay with it. Nolan and Coach Vos. Again, double question for both of you.
Parents, if your kids don't have a sport to do, definitely try out wrestling. It's a really fun sport. It might be hard at first, but if you put in the work, put in the time, you can get become a really great wrestler. And it's okay if you miss a practice every now and then. Just make sure if you miss a practice, try to do 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, and work hard, and you'll become a great wrestler.
I really liked Beau's answer on this question. He kind of hit the nail on the head. Quitting is easy. I mean, it's the showing up week after week, working hard. We try to have fun in that room, but it is hard work. All these guys have put in a ton of work, and I think we try and make it fun. And the biggest thing for parents or anyone is it's ask questions. I mean, we talk about this wrestling family all the time, and it truly is. There isn't a parent that doesn't show up and drop their kid off at practice that can't answer a question for you new parents, or even parents that have been doing it for years and have questions. And if they can't answer it, they'll direct you to the right person. Jeff and I are always available to answer questions. Just the more informed you are, it eases that anxiety. And I think, like I said, all these guys have been doing it for a long time, and the more practices they show up to, the more tournaments they go to, the easier it is. Max and all you guys, I bet you're super nervous that first tournament you guys ever went to. Going into weigh-ins, going into staging. Maybe your parents were there in staging with you or not. You're real nervous about who you got matched up with. Now, I mean, do you guys have really any nerves when it comes to an open tournament? You just kind of excited to get out there, excited. It's just you're used to it. So that's my advice as well. Is like Max said, we don't lose as Waconia wrestlers. We learn, right? You got to set those goals that are achievable. You can't, as a first-year wrestler, say I'm going to be undefeated. That's not very realistic. But you know what? I'm going to try and get a takedown today. That's a goal that we can all meet. And, we got to start small and build, and, good things will come.
100%. I'm really proud of all your guys' answers on that. It's really, really cool to see, again, the journey that all of you all have taken, and how mature you all have become. And for parents that watch this, that are maybe on the fence, I don't know if I'm into this sport, or if this is the right sport for my son or daughter. And it's going to be hard to answer that question in probably year one, right? These kids have continued to put work in, and they've just become the amount of work that you put in, you will get that much more in return. It's not guaranteed, but it's a strong correlation between hard work and those outcomes that you're shooting for. And it's all about developing the best version of yourself, and these kids are examples of that. I'm really proud of all of you for making it to sixth grade, and the goal isn't just that. It's there's lots ahead of you all these next 7 years. So the sixth grade year, and then even hopefully the next 6 years of your 7th through 12th grade high school program careers, and your careers are just going to take off because all of you are self-motivated. You're going to put in that work, and the sky really is the limit for all of you because of the mindset you have, the attitude, and the work that you've already put in is a great foundation for a great future ahead. So with that said, any final thoughts? I want to just kind of open it up for any of you to kind of say what maybe you haven't had a chance to say yet on just, your journey to sixth grade, or just thoughts about the year, sport of wrestling, what have you. So open mic for all of you, and maybe we'll go in reverse order. We'll start with Nolan, and we'll close out with Max.
I don't got much to say. It's a fun sport. Stick with it. Work hard. Have fun.
My final thoughts is, we hear a lot of you guys talking about your goals, and we've talked in the wrestling room about Max McInell, who, he probably didn't start winning till sixth grade. We've talked about Garrett Vos, who didn't start, till his 7th, 8th grade year. He didn't start, being successful until he was a junior, senior in high school. So you guys put in a lot of work already, and you've got the foundation to be good wrestlers. Don't let what happened last match, last year, determine how you think you're going to do this year or even into your high school career. It's every match starts 0-0. You've got a long way and a lot of time to improve yet until it really matters when you guys start hitting that high school room, that high school program, and making your way to the Excel for the real state tournament, the big state tournament. So every day, every practice, we just try to improve, a little bit. Every match, learn from it. And like I said, this youth career will be over for guys this year, but still got another 6+ years of wrestling in you for Waconia at least. So.
I just hope the team does as well as they can, and that everybody just tries really hard and has a good time.
I don't have much to say. Just try hard and have fun, and you will want to stay in the sport.
I mean, yeah, I don't really have much to say, but the match isn't over until that ref blows the whistle. So if the ref hasn't blown the whistle, just know if you're down, you can still come back and win.
Yep.
Well, don't have much to say either, but I mean, just don't give up. I mean, sometimes it's hard, but you just gotta keep going.
Well stated. All of you, appreciate it. You guys are my heroes, and appreciate all the work you guys have put in, and what it's taken to get to 6th grade hasn't been easy. And appreciate you guys also being courageous enough to share your stories with your fans out there, with the broader wrestling community, and we are looking forward to see you guys on the mats this year. And best of luck to all of you on closing out a great youth career. You guys are success stories. Regardless of what happens this year, super proud of you, and appreciate you guys being great representatives of our program. So that said, we're going to probably close her out. And all of you guys next time. Take care, guys. Thank you.